The Gosselin children have been in the public eye since they were young, starting with the birth of the sextuplets on Jon and Kate Plus 8. What began as a joyful, chaotic family story soon turned into a public spectacle, particularly as tensions grew between Jon and Kate. Over time, their separation and divorce sparked controversy, and now, years later, Hannah Gosselin is speaking out about her mother, Kate, shedding light on the complex family dynamics. Her revelations challenge the public's perception of the Gosselins, raising questions about what truly happened behind closed doors. Growing up on reality TV, Hannah's childhood was a far cry from normal. Cameras were always present, turning every family moment into content for the show. As the years went by, the cracks in the Gosselin family image became evident, culminating in Jon and Kate's bitter divorce in 2009. The children, once inseparable, were divided, with Kate receiving primary custody. However, Hannah, unlike her siblings, chose to live with her father, Jon. This decision raised eyebrows, as she had always seemed to clash with Kate's strict parenting. While Kate was seen as the more responsible parent and maintained primary custody, Jon faced public scrutiny. Yet, as the children grew, Hannah began to spend more time with him. By 2018, she made the decision to live with Jon full-time, a choice that has raised many questions about the family's hidden struggles. By 2017, rumors spread that Hannah Gosselin wanted to live with her father, Jon, full-time. This marked a significant shift in the long-running custody battle, as Hannah's bond with Jon grew stronger. She was the only one of the Gosselin children willing to push back against her mother's control. In 2018, Hannah's decision became official. She would move in with Jon permanently. Jon filed for full custody of Hannah in 2018, citing her desire to leave Kate's home. This decision stunned many who believed the Gosselin children would stay with their mother. Yet, Hannah's choice wasn't made lightly. It carried emotional weight, and over time, the reasons behind it have started to emerge. Following years of legal battles and family tension, Hannah officially moved in with Jon, and soon after, her brother Colin joined her. While this was a rare victory for Jon, it left the public with more questions. Why had Hannah and Colin left their mother? Was it Kate's strict parenting, or was there something more to the story? Hannah never directly criticized Kate, but her decision to leave spoke volumes. Over the years, she has dropped subtle hints about life with her mother. In an interview, she once said, "My mom is a lot," but stopped herself before elaborating. This cryptic comment left fans wondering if Kate's strictness, emotional distance, or controlling nature played a role in their strained relationship. On Jon and Kate Plus 8, Kate was known for her firm parenting, which some viewers found harsh, especially toward Hannah. Some speculated that Kate singled Hannah out more than the others, leading to questions about whether it was just tough love or something deeper. Former crew members and Jon himself have hinted that life behind the scenes was far more rigid than what aired on TV. Jon has suggested that Kate's parenting style went beyond discipline. It was controlling. Hannah, in particular, seemed to struggle with this, longing for more freedom. When Hannah moved in with Jon, it wasn't just a change of address. It was a powerful statement. She chose her father over her mother, a decision that strained her relationship with Kate and possibly with her siblings as well. Despite this, Hannah remained close with her family, and her siblings even expressed a desire to join her and Jon. Despite all of this, Hannah never spoke negatively about her mother in public. She remained diplomatic in interviews, subtly hinting at the difficulties she faced, without fully airing her grievances, perhaps out of respect, or a desire to keep certain aspects of her life private. Hannah chose to protect her mother's image. Life with Jon was different for Hannah. She described it as normal and free, a stark contrast to her life under Kate's strict rules. After years of living under constant scrutiny, Hannah finally found the normalcy she had longed for, a life where she could express herself and experience freedom. With Jon, Hannah was no longer just one of 8 children being managed by a strict routine. She was simply Hannah, and that made all the difference. Jon has spoken fondly of their close and unbreakable bond, expressing how much he enjoys having her around and how he fully supports her decision. This contrasted sharply with Kate's more rigid household, where questioning authority was rarely allowed. A major question from fans has been whether Jon influenced Hannah's decision to leave Kate's home. Did he encourage her? Did he plant the idea in her head? According to Hannah, the choice was entirely hers. She felt happier and more comfortable with her dad, and when she approached him about moving in, he was nothing but supportive. Since the move, Hannah has kept her life mostly private, occasionally sharing bits on TikTok. While she hasn't disclosed much about what led to her decision, she may be protecting her family or waiting for the right time to share her full story. Recently, she began to open up more, particularly about her mother. She's spent more time with her siblings and seems ready to clarify her perspective. In a recent statement, she said, "My mom was not the villain some people have made her out to be, but she wasn't perfect either. No parent is." Hannah's growing openness has allowed her to offer a more balanced perspective on life in the Gosselin household. She acknowledges the tension with her mother, explaining that living with Kate became unbearable. Sources close to the family suggest the issues went beyond their personal conflicts, affecting how Kate treated all the children. Hannah remembers how everything was strictly organized, with Kate constantly reminding them they were representatives of the brand. "My mom was not just raising children. She was managing how we all appeared to the world," she reflects, "and I think that's just sad." A major point of contention in the family was how Kate treated Hannah's brother, Colin. In an interview with Vice TV, Hannah revealed that Colin was often isolated from the family, not allowed to play with the others, and even ate dinner at different times. More troubling was the revelation that Kate had created a containment room for Colin, where he would be locked away. Kate justified this by claiming it was to protect the other children from Colin's troubled behavior, but Hannah never understood why it was necessary. Hannah also recalled disturbing instances of physical and verbal aggression from her mother. "It was not good," she admitted, describing Kate's harsh way of correcting them as emotionally and physically abusive. These revelations shocked many, as Kate's strictness had always been known, but few had imagined the extent of it. Still, Hannah acknowledges the positive qualities she inherited from Kate, like determination, resilience, and a strong work ethic, traits she continues to carry with her. Given the history between Hannah and Kate, many wonder if there's hope for reconciliation. Hannah understands that repairing their relationship will take time and patience. The Gosselin family's fractured dynamics didn't develop overnight, and rebuilding trust is a gradual process. Hannah recognizes the long-standing conflict between Jon and Kate, which forced the children into impossible positions of choosing sides. "For a long time, it felt like we had to choose sides," she shares. "That's an impossible position for any child, regardless of age." The ongoing tension also strained sibling relations. After Hannah and Colin moved in with Jon, the children who stayed with Kate had limited contact with them. Looking back, Hannah reflects on early attempts at reconciliation, which often failed due to unresolved anger and hurt on both sides. "My mom was probably hurt when I chose Dad over her, and she's not ready to hear my perspective, and I probably wasn't ready to understand hers either. We both needed time and space." Over time, communication between Hannah and her family has evolved from complete estrangement to cautious text exchanges and occasional visits. While progress has been made, it hasn't always been smooth. Setbacks and misunderstandings have pushed them back to square one several times. "There's a lot of history to work through," Hannah admits. "Sometimes old patterns emerge when we least expect them." One of the most significant areas of progress has been Hannah's efforts to reconnect with her siblings, particularly the 4 sextuplets who remained with Kate. "They're part of me in a way no one else can understand," she said in an interview. "I love them. I will always love them. We shared everything from the womb to this bizarre childhood experience. That bond can bend, but it never completely breaks." Despite all the challenges, Hannah remains hopeful that the bonds with her siblings can survive the years of separation and pain. She's been working on rebuilding these relationships, particularly with her sister Leah. Recently, they spent time together on a sister shopping spree, symbolizing the bond they are working to strengthen. These moments are deliberate. Hannah seeks neutral spaces where she and her siblings can be themselves without the influence of their parents' dynamics. When it's just us, we can be honest about our experiences without worrying about loyalty to either parent, she shared. Family therapy has played a role in the healing process, but it hasn't been easy. Getting everyone involved consistently has been a challenge. Healing isn't something you can force or rush, Hannah says. Everyone has to be ready in their own time. While the process is far from complete, Hannah remains optimistic about eventual reconciliation, even if her relationship with Kate may never return to what it once was. We're different people now, she reflects. I think the goal isn't to go back to how things were, but to create something new that works for who we've all become. Although Hannah has shared many aspects of her experience, there are still parts of her decision to leave Kate's home that remain private. While she's been honest about the struggles, she's careful with her words, always striving to be respectful to her mother. I've tried to be honest, but I also want to be respectful, Hannah explains. However, some questions remain unanswered. If life with Kate was as difficult as Hannah suggests, why did she stay silent for so long? And what about her siblings? Did they share similar feelings but choose to stay with Kate? Or do they have a different perspective? For now, it seems Hannah is focused on moving forward with her life, leaving the past behind. Whether she will eventually share more or encourage her siblings to do the same is unclear. Some stories may remain private for personal reasons, but one thing is certain. Hannah's departure from her mother's home forever changed the Gosselin family dynamic, and the full truth behind her choice may never come to light unless she chooses to reveal it. Now that Hannah has stepped into adulthood, she has the freedom to shape her future outside of the intense public scrutiny that defined her childhood. She no longer has to navigate the complex custody battles or parental decisions that once dominated her life. But with this newfound freedom comes the question, what will she do with it? For now, she keeps much of her personal life private, sharing glimpses on TikTok but keeping her future plans under wraps. In contrast to Kate, who remains in the public eye, Hannah seems to prefer a quieter existence. She shared pieces of her life with Jon on social media, but hasn't fully opened up about her past or what's next. At 20, the possibilities for Hannah are limitless. She could pursue a career, continue her education, or even re-enter the entertainment industry on her own terms. Whether she embraces the spotlight again or chooses a more private life, one thing is clear. Hannah is no longer just Jon and Kate Gosselin's daughter. She is her own person, and her journey is just beginning. The Gosselin family saga, however, is far from over. While Hannah has shared her side of the story, many are still waiting to hear Kate's. Will she acknowledge the strict, demanding, and controlling aspects of her parenting? Only time will tell. For now, Hannah has spoken up, and her revelations have sparked many questions. What do you think of Hannah's decision to speak out? Did any part of her story resonate with your own experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video.